welcome to the Entertainment Science Fiction Programming Network, your entertainment sci-fi programming network. And so we say, Buenos dias, Ohayo gozaimasu, Zao Shanghao, Zao An, Bonjour, hello, and welcome. You have it, I have it, we all have it inside of us. And today we're going to talk about how to use it. We're talking about superpowers, super abilities. All of us have it. It's natural in all of us. We're talking about things like strength, energy, testosterone, adrenaline. So these things in us can bring out superpowers. In animals, it produces super abilities. Let's take, for instance, the silverback gorilla. The silverback gorilla can lift and throw 1,796 pounds. That's the combined weight of 20 adult humans. The silverback gorilla can lift and throw 20 adult humans. The silverback gorilla has a muscle mass 4 times higher than the most muscular human. Let's take the human being that exercises all the time just to build muscle, to have the biggest muscle mass of anybody on earth, right? And that person, you measure him, you say he has the biggest muscle mass of anybody on earth. Then the silverback gorilla is 4 times more muscular than that human being. And then here we're talking about standing strength only. Add to that standing strength adrenaline, and then that strength increases by many times more. The world's strongest human is a Lithuanian power lifter by the name of Zydrunas Savickas. Zydrunas Savickas has won the world's strongest man competition 4 times. He's the only world muscle man, strongman competitor to win every strongman competition. The next closest person to win the world's strongest man competition is Brian Shaw, American Brian Shaw. He's won it 2 times, while Zydrunas Savickas has won it 4 times. Zydrunas Savickas lifts a world record 1,155 pounds. So a silverback gorilla can lift 1,796 pounds, or 20 humans. Zydrunas Savickas can lift 12 humans. Now, let's say that add to Zydrunas Savickas gorilla or polar bear level burst of power. Because with animals, it's not just standing strength, the ability to lift 1,000, it's raw strength and it's energy, it's power that doubles that natural strength. So add that to Zydrunas Savickas, that energy, that power. Then you have super abilities. Then you have superpower. So if you add epinephrine, or as we know it better as adrenaline, then suddenly he has gorilla level power. So tapping into our adrenaline increases our power. Adrenaline gives you more blood and oxygen to your muscles, which allows you to use the full potential of your musculature. Along with our motor skills, that is our thinking capacity, we can direct that full muscular power that we have to do good, to good use. And this is contrary to like gorillas who have high explosive power, strength, but how do they guide it to do good? They don't have the motor skills, the thinking ability, that we have. And so we want to have this explosive power so that we can guide that power, our super abilities to do super good things. We do not use our full muscle mass or our full muscular structure. Why? Because our bodies want to protect us. The first thing the bodies want to do is protect you from getting hurt. So we have to train ourselves now to tap into our physiological response to hysterical strength. We tap into it, we guide it with our motor skills. Okay, so it first starts in the part of our brain called the amygdala. That's the part of our brain associated with fear. Let's say that a car is about to hit you. The amygdala activates the hypothalamus, which is near the pituitary gland, which now releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. The hormone adrenaline causes your heart and lungs to work faster, and that sends oxygen to your major muscles. Your strength is boosted, your vision becomes sharper, your hearing is clearer, so this car is coming at you at 100 miles per hour. But all these reactions happen in your body. You become super clear, super strong. Your hearing is outstanding, right? And you see inside the car, everything is moving slow to you. It's coming at 100 miles an hour, but to you, it's like going backwards, going slow. And you see the driver in the car doing, so instead of pressing the brakes, and you're saying, okay, that's why he wants to hit me, because instead of pressing the brakes, right? So you walk to the side of the car. It's real fast because your super speed makes you move out of the way. But to you, it's like you walk to the side and you yell inside the car, the brakes! And then he slams on the brakes. Avoid hitting everybody else that was crossing the street, right? So this is what happens when we're able to see more clear, move faster, become more alert, more powerful. And here we're talking about adrenaline in short spurts, and that makes that happen. But what helps you sustain that adrenaline to make it last longer? Because we're talking about becoming superheroes, right? So we want this adrenaline to last longer because it may not be just a car that it may be a bank robbery. So you need that to last a long time. So what helps you to sustain that is a hormone, cortisol. Cortisol accesses your body's stores of glucose, and that gives you extra strength and makes that strength last longer. And then to help you not back down, you see. So you might have to hold that car and dig your feet in the ground and then stop it from moving because the guy, after you say the brakes, he's still. And so you have to grab onto his car and put your feet in. And so what helps you not back down when you put your feet in to stop his car? Causing your body not to feel any pain are endorphin chemicals that spurt out. And then this endorphin chemicals reduces the perception of pain. So we have all these built-in superhero abilities inside of all of us. So what do we need to do? We need to train ourselves. Train yourself physically. Build more muscle mass. Become as strong as you possibly can. Do endurance training. Last as long as you possibly can. And then learn how to Hulk on. Learn how to make all these chemical reactions happen. Your built-in enhancers to take place. Because once we Hulk them on, then the muscle mass that we've put on and that endurance that we built up will quadruple. This is the Aquify. Right? You hear me talk about it all the time. It's all usually up here, but here it is. Order the Aquify. Go into TheAquaPhi.com and order it. It will come to you like this. You read through it. You're going to read in the Aquify. Oh, let me straighten back up. Right. You're going to read in the Aquify about a character named Arad. How there was a wedding that night. Everybody partied until 3 in the morning, but he was the only one that stayed awake because they left all the doors open of the Aqua Phi when they were underneath the sea in the deepest parts of the ocean. And an army was breaking in, an army of about 30, 40 men breaking into their vessel. But one person, Arad, tapped into those natural abilities and saved everybody, the residents of the Aquify. How did he do it? Read the Aquify. Order it. Go into theaquaphi.com. Theaquaphi.com. And while you're there, also go into merchandise and order your favorite Aquify merchandise, your favorite posters. And you'll read about how Arad tapped into his natural abilities and also how the crew of the Aquify believe in working out, because you never know when you're going to need to tap into those musculatures and that endurance that we have. And so while you're there, order the Aquify merchandise, your favorite hat, t-shirt, cap, dress, pants. It's all in the Aquify. So go to aquify.com. And while you're listening to this podcast, don't forget to don't forget to subscribe. This podcast is on Anchor, and on Anchor with Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, a host of podcasts. Subscribe. YouTube, subscribe, follow on Facebook. So after we learn to tap into our natural Hulk in all of us, practice wingsuiting. Remember wingsuiting? We talked about it when we talked about getting your Batman on, how to get your Batman on and keep it on. And when Batman wore a wingsuit and started flying, and so that we saw the first of a flying Batman in the movies. So practice wingsuiting. That is flying in this suit. If you missed that podcast when we talked about getting your Batman on, go back and look at it. The fastest wingsuiter is a British wingsuiter named Fraser Corzine. Fraser Corzine in a wingsuit, just a human being with a suit, flies at 246.6 miles per hour. So the bad guy's getting away. He's in his car. He's driving at 120 miles an hour. You put on your wingsuit and you're going at 246. It won't be long before you catch him, right? Bad guy's at 120 looking at you, and then you're looking at him like, because you're at 246, right? So put on your wingsuit, because once you catch up to this bad man, then you Hulk on and all these natural abilities come on and you stop the crime from taking place. Build muscle mass, stamina, endurance. Tap into your internal super strength. Hulk on. Put on your wingsuit and put a stop to crime. See, and once you stop all crime in your neighborhood, you can even add turbojets to your wingsuit. Now with turbojets, you go from 246 to 420. So put turbojets on your wingsuit and stop crime in your city. And then once you stop all the crime in your city, nothing prevents you from stopping crime in your county. Things now, when you take on crime in your county and then you expand to take on crime in your state, you want other natural abilities. Things like transferring heat, like one of the Fantastic Fours, send out heat from your body. We can do that. naturally. We can also send out electricity, like Electro. Well, not like Electro, like Hulk. We can send out electricity from our bodies. So we have these super strength, and we talked about how to use it. But now, enhancing our super strength with things like heat and electricity. How do we do that? Let's talk about that on our next podcast.